Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for marketing tips based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we're doing a class of Master Your Marketing, and we'll be talking about how you can incorporate video in your business. We have a very special guest on today, Mr. Bill Pendley. He is one of our very allied partners and does a lot of video in his business, whether it's for branding or doing some seminars or interviewing agents or other real estate professionals, or even things like drones. So he's going to talk to us a little bit today about what that looks like and how you can incorporate it into your business as well. So thank you so much, Bill, for coming on. We can't wait to hear what you have to share.
No problem. No problem. I mean, this video is one of those things that where you could open a can of worms and sit here all day and just get techie, geeky, however you want to call it. Because I talked to a lot of these video guys. I'm actually amazed at some of these people and what they're doing with their stuff, the actual pros at video. So I picked up a drone probably about 3 or 4 years ago and started messing around with it because I got a little bored with the mortgage industry. And then all of a sudden it took off, no pun intended, with meeting agents like yourself. And then, then I started learning more about the photography aspect of it. And then also the video side, and really liked the video piece of working with our business. And what the problem was, though, is that people started asking me to do drone work. And I go, wait a second, that's not what pays my bills. It started out as a hobby, and then it quickly morphed into a little side business that I ran. So I had to create a tagline saying loans and drones, not drones and loans. So I got to pay bills. But, here's the thing, like when it comes to video, this world is getting faster by the second. Obviously, you know that if you look back at like one of my favorite movies is It's a Wonderful Life. You look at that movie and then you look at the movies today, it's almost like two different extremes, like slow, relaxed pace, camera angles, everything's just a slower pace. Now it's like everything's a split second. So I listen to a lot of Brian Buffini. He made a good mention of our attention span right now is actually less than a goldfish, believe it or not. So I put a little quote that I have up on my stuff here, and it says, according to research, this is back in 2015, so it was a little bit of time ago, but according to research, our attention span is markedly decreased in such 15 years. In 2000, it was 12 seconds. Now, 15 years later, remember 2015, it shrunk significantly to 8.2 seconds. In fact, scientists reckon we now have a shorter attention span than goldfish, who are able to focus on a task for about 9 seconds. So that tells you, wow, okay, so if I'm going to put something out there, I need to make sure that somebody's going to get the exact message that I want to have portrayed within about 9 seconds. I mean, it sounds crazy to think, but that's really what our world has gotten to. In fact, I posted, started learning how to do reels the other day, and I posted those are 15 seconds. And all of a sudden I had 12,000 views and 500 likes. Whereas my other stuff that's longer was actually, maybe 70 likes, which is still decent, but maybe 100 views, 200 views. So this world is just moving at such a rapid, fast pace that you want to kind of take hold of that first 9 seconds. So if you walk away with anything out of this whole message, just remember that first 9 seconds is going to be your most important if you use video. Okay. So when we look at video, we look at 3 reasons to use video. I just kind of classify this as my own opinion, but that's what I'm just kind of going with today. But one is entertainment. So like if you use stories on Instagram or reels, or just kind of like a funny video, my wife literally sends me about 2 or 3 a day, which makes me cry. Like I'm thinking about one a day that I'm just cracking up at all morning. So that's an entertainment value. Like I said, reels and stories are a good way to do that. Educational, like we're doing here, webinars, Zoom consultations. I use a lot of that with the mortgage industry and also the real estate agents, where we can sit here and actually discuss your options. And I think the pandemic's kind of created that space where it's made people feel a little bit more comfortable. But that's another way to use video. The other thing is communicate. So if you have like quick updates, like if you're looking at an open house and let's say you had a client that would fit perfectly for this open house. I've done this before where I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, Jesse, you're going to love this house. Let me just do a quick walkthrough. boom, all of a sudden send that, use a bomb kind of video to send it. There's just so many ways that you can use video right now to actually help, not only with branding, but just help get the message out and actually get people to start looking at, okay, what is that person offering? So when you're looking at video with those three things, there's a couple of things that I always I look at as far as another set of bullet points to kind of remember when you're looking at putting a right video out there. There's a lot of people that kind of put videos out there and the sound isn't available. It's really dark, don't have lighting, or the content just isn't there. So like I've gone on YouTube, I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like a pretty interesting topic. Then the person doesn't have good audio, doesn't have good lighting, and just kind of distracts from the whole message in its whole. So couple of things to remember is, when you're looking at video, it's very simple. It's not rocket science. I've invested a lot of money into the video piece, but it's really something where you don't have to get all the major equipment that you could if you wanted to. But I think right now, the iPhone 13 is an awesome, awesome piece of equipment that can pretty much do anything a lot of the bigger $3,000 cameras can do. So, but I think if you look at the way that you're putting it out there with lighting and also sound, that's huge right now. So what I use for lighting, just so you know, I'm using some lighting right now where I have a little bit of a light, kind of a bluer style light that's going to light my face. You can also use ring lights. These are good. They're really inexpensive to actually go with. So, but like I said, you don't have to get the $1,000 lighter camera. So maybe just use to start, if you haven't used video, just to start with just using a ring light and maybe getting a message out there, really simple. And as you kind of morph into getting comfortable with the video, you'll be able to see that this is something that you can use to get that message across. As far as microphones go, the cameras themselves don't really have great microphones. So I think you can also use something like a Bluetooth microphone. Right now I have a Sabintech. Use it a couple times. It connects to your iPhone, so you can actually have this on the outside of it's kind of like a lapel mic. You can use this to actually put good quality sound out there, and it syncs up to your phone too. So I've also used earbuds. Earbuds work. That's kind of good for, I would say, like webinar series. If you don't have necessarily a Yeti mic like this, that's actually a pretty good option for you. But like I said, don't overthink it when it comes to the video stuff. But like I said, the video, the visual, the audio, and also content makes a huge difference. So quick thing about we're talking content. Let's talk content really quick. Remember I said that the first 9 seconds is what you want to remember after leaving this conversation. There's something called the hook. Okay, so it's basically a term that's used in the video world that says, look, I need to get that message out with one statement. So like, let's say that I'm talking to my next video I'm going to be putting out. It's going to be putting out a video on small teams. So like, for instance, I'm hearing a lot of realtors say that they're dealing with bigger teams as far as loan officers, and they're not really liking it as much as like a smaller customized team. So I'm basically going to put a message out there. Are you getting lost in the shuffle of lending? Something like that, that's going to make somebody go, wait a second, what does that mean? So just something like a tagline to really get somebody's attention is going to be a really good starting point. I also think with the audio, you can put music behind your video, and then also obviously good mic or good mic to put the audio out there is going to be helpful too. So you got the intro, you got the content, which is the intro is the hook. And then you have the content, which is the message. And then you have the closure, call to action. So that's the way to kind of put the content together as far as your video goes. Yeah. And as far as like equipment, Amy, do you have the notes that I sent you, or I can share screen if you want?
I do. I just posted Bill's favorite equipment in the chat. So the things that he was showing And then Bill, if you want me to pull something up on Amazon or something so people can get visuals, I'm more than happy to do that as well. And I have held back your favorite apps and software, but I have that.
Oh
right
yeah.
here.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, when we're looking at equipment, I mean, you could get, I think that's when somebody starts thinking about video, they start going, oh my gosh, I got to invest all this money into equipment. I think that's kind of where we need to kind of stop and hold for a second is go, okay, well, what do I need? Like I said, the iPhone is great. I don't think I would overspend on getting a $3,000 camera. This Yeti mic, I actually upgraded from another microphone that I used. If you're doing like a webinar series or something like this, I use this, but I wasn't really feeling the sound until I heard one of my other branding companies use this. It's literally like $100. And if you do like webinars or any type of educational type styles, this is a great microphone. It's going to be your top of the line microphone for like $100. So not a huge deal. But the other thing is Logitech. So if you're doing the webinar series, the Logitech is a good visual for something like this. I'm using a Canon 5D. Like I said, don't spend the money to do that. It's going to be a big, huge learning curve, and Logitech is going to be perfect for you. So Logitech is great for webcams. I remember getting into webinars early on in my career, and that's what I use, and it's fine. So nothing to worry about. And they actually have pretty decent microphones there too. So that's the other thing. Let's see equipment, green screens. So green screens are awesome. I use a lot of green screen. What that means is basically behind me, I would have like just a green screen. It's what it is. And then I would send off my video to an editor. And that editor is over in Hungary, believe it or not. So I set my editor's over in Hungary, and I use a web app called Fiverr. If you're not using Fiverr is like a game changer. You can really use it as a virtual assistant, but I use it primarily for my editing. So you can literally go, okay, look, I got my video. I want somebody to edit it because editing takes forever to do. I got my video.
Is that a good one to show?
Yeah. That's this Memorial Day weekend. Actually, we wanted to take this moment just to acknowledge.
Here, I have the volume off so you can talk through it, but you can see the editing.
Yeah. So this is awesome. So this guy is over in Hungary. I spent maybe $25, $30 to have him edit a 1-minute video. And this is just our kind of, hey, thank you to our heroes for serving. And he did it, and I got it back in like 2 days. And that's the beauty with that too, is you can actually send it out. He'll edit it, do whatever you want. You can put captions in there. This is also using stock video. So like, when I send him the outline of what I want him to do, remember, go back to the kind of the content, right? Intro, content, outro. So meaning I want to start off with a hook, something I'm talking about, put the content in there, and then, maybe a call to action or your logo or whatever at the end. So I just basically told him that I wanted to do this video, and I don't have any other videos that would go along with military. So can you put what's called stock video in there? And sure enough, he was able to do that and look great. So that's with the audio being on point and the lighting, and you can also do the voiceover. He puts all that together, and there you have it. For $30, you'll have a beautiful video and not have to worry about anything. You just start posting that stuff.
Talk about leverage, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, and no offense to the guys in America, but you're going to pay for editing. Editing is like the art of video. So you're going to pay probably about $1,000, $2,000 for just editing alone over here. So I remember my brother coming into my office about 5 years ago. He goes, Bill, you want a game changer? Fiverr is your game changer. I go, what do you mean? He goes, he's like, I used it to actually get all my contacts on an Excel sheet. I literally sent out all my contacts from my system, and they put in an Excel sheet within about 5 minutes. So you can use it for so many different things. And that could be a whole different talk with regards to what Fiverr can do, but it's a really good tool as far as editing.
Yeah, and Fiverr, if you guys aren't familiar, it's Fiverr. RR, and the premise was that everything starts at about $5. So depending on what you need, the price will go up from there. But it's sourcing creatives, I guess, from all over the world, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I did a loan for a doctor down in the city, and he said he was getting he does music on the side, and he does the music, and then he has somebody over in the Philippines doing the singing. So he found her on Fiverr, and they just record back and forth and have this awesome like music like album between. He's never met him. I've never met my editor, and his name's Al. That's all I know. He's over in Hungary. That's about it. So it's pretty amazing. But definitely, if you're interested in doing video, I think that the beauty with our industry is that you can take a camera, be anywhere, put something really small together like an open house, and then send it out to Al in Hungary, and then he'll have it back to you in a day or two. And the next thing you know, you get yourself a beautiful video, and you look like a hero because your sellers are going, "Oh my gosh, like how did she do that? Or how did he do that?" You know? Right. So it's definitely a great option for you.
And so if I'm hearing you right, you can start with your smartphone that you already have. Yep. Maybe invest in a mic, depending on, test it out, see how it sounds, but maybe invest in a mic, do the recording with your phone, find somebody on Fiverr. So you don't know how to do any of the editing, right? You have somebody else do it for you at an affordable rate, and then go post on your different social media platforms or put it in your emails, right? I know I've gotten video messages from you, and that's through BombBomb, right?
Yeah. That's a great way to break it down. I know I was kind of a little bit all over the board here, but like I said, it's just one of those things where you could literally talk about this for days.
You can.
I think it just depends on what you're looking to use it for. And I think going back to the first 3 points is entertainment, which is easy. Webinars, got to kind of set up a little bit more, or educational. If you want to do like a YouTube channel, you want to kind of get your lighting and audio really in place. But yeah, the BombBomb is huge right now. So what I've been doing is taking, like I said, real estate agents, because our industry is 2 parts, right? You can get an approval, but if you don't put a strategy together with the real estate agent and the client to make sure you're leveraging your offer, and everybody's not on the same page, it's going to be a lot of confusion there. So I use this and the Zoom with the BombBomb, and then record the video with the figures that we talked about, along with the pre-approval. And next thing you know, everybody's excited and they're writing contracts.
I'm going to share some of your social media because I pulled it up ahead of time.
Okay.
So you've been doing a great job explaining like how you incorporate video into your strategy. And I figured we could show some of it. I got to move my Zoom window. There we go. So I'm on your Facebook page right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Believe it or not. So that's Pat Turley.
Yeah.
That was shot in my daughter's playroom because we're getting our basement finished right now. So you're probably hearing a bunch of this stuff. So the beauty with the green screen is that you're not seeing all the toys or anything behind that, but yeah, you can pick whatever background you want. I've done it where we've had like, it looks like a coffee shop, or that's a Zoom call that we did with Bobby Taruk and my brother. You can do it like more of a podcast type of scenario. So yeah.
And so we showed this one, the Memorial Day one. And I just want to bring this up because we were talking about doing the short little videos, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so look at this. This one has over 500, almost 600 likes and 15 comments, right?
Right.
I had a lot of things to do today, but you know what I did instead? I took a nap. It was a very good nap.
That's it. So easy.
I know it sounds like, so that is crazy. I literally just started with Reels. So the other one next to is my wife. So that's Nellie being Nellie. That's our dog. And then the other one next to, I just started this, and literally it's not just like, that's not like posting 5 days ago. That stuff is happening within an hour or two. Like my jaw hit the floor when I posted that. Cause I'm not I would say I'm more educational, more like informational, trying to get information out. But the world wants to see, they want to see entertainment too. And I think that when you put something along that, like with that kind of music in the background and something that the audio is huge with reels right now. So that's a reel, REEL. And those are getting a huge amount of responses. Basically, Instagram is trying to take over the TikTok. So they're using the reels to try to push that piece of their platform.
Yeah, and I think, Bill, you did a really nice job here. You can see I'm just on your page in general, but not every single thing is a video, but you definitely have them mixed in, right? So
Right.
you've got some great static images. I love this jacket with your family pictures in there.
Thanks.
And then we've got videos mixed in. And like you said, here's that one with Pat again. So that one's more educational. The dog one's more on trend and fun, kind of letting people get a little glimpse of your life, right? Same thing with this video, was adorable.
Yeah, I mean, well, I appreciate that. I'm trying, and I think that the other thing too is just to mention that don't be afraid to try something, because it really doesn't, like, this took me probably 4 or 5 years to kind of get into this rhythm with regards to putting this together. But I studied it, and I think, but at first, if you saw my wife laughing because she's really good with content, and so like, there was a post a while back. I think I was going through a hard time or something, but I just took a picture of a puddle and I said reflections. And she goes, "That's pretty sappy." I'm like, "Yeah, okay. We need to erase that really quick, because now I look like really look insecure." But so she's helping me out with that too. And I just think that you'll see, like, as you do things more and more, that you'll see that you'll morph into kind of like your rhythm and your style and your brand. And I think the question I'd have for anybody on the call is, what's your why? So why do you do what you do? And what's your brand? So I think everybody's got their own uniqueness. And I think you can use that to impact your business with regards to real estate.
Definitely. I think you hit the nail on the head there. A lot of people struggle with content because they don't know, they say they don't know what to post, but it's like, if you know what your main goal is, what's your niche, what's your why are you doing what you're doing, who are you at the core, all you have to do is come up with stuff around that. And a lot of it is things like the dog, or watching your wife and daughter walk down the street, right? People don't necessarily think like, oh, that's something I can go share with my sphere to let them get to know me a little better. It doesn't always have to be market stats. However, it's great to have a lender partner like Bill, where you can talk about the market every now and then to help people understand what's going on, right?
Right.
And then, Bill, I know you've been a great help with a lot of our client events. You help with Red Day every year. You've always been there to help us video what's going on there, so we can share that story with the world too. That's not just the business side of things.
Right. I think that's a perfect example of, showing the community what you are doing to give back. I think that's something that, especially nowadays, obviously after last week, it's just one of those things where it's good to see people like yourself and the Red Day in particular giving back to the community and really showcasing that, because that shows authenticity. And that's the other thing. The other major word to kind of remember when you're looking at social media or branding is you want to show your authentic self, so that's what I felt like Red Day was to me, was to really see, like, even behind the camera when I'm shooting everybody, to see that you are rolling up your sleeves in 90-degree weather, painting, for the veterans house, and everything that you did that day was amazing. So it kind of hits home for me. So good.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anybody have questions that you guys want to come off mute or put in the chat that we can answer specifically for you? I know we covered a lot of topics. There's a lot that goes into video.
Bill, when you were using Fiverr for your editor, how did you choose that editor among all the other ones that were out there?
That's a great question. It's kind of like Amazon reviews, right? So like, I looked at, obviously within reason, I wasn't going to, like, my first video, I was going to pay $250 for a guy that had like 20,000 stars or whatever. I was going to kind of go middle of the road, but you can actually click and see what their, for Al, for instance, I clicked and saw his video and his style, and I just kind of connected with that. And then I just went with it, and I go, okay, let's try it. And after that, I stuck with him. I didn't really try anybody else, because I really liked the way that he communicated. And he really caught my vision of what I wanted to put out there. So I'll tell him whatever I want, and he runs with it.
That sounds like it really makes sense. Something that fits your own style rather than trying to be somebody else. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Absolutely.
problem. Yeah, if you have any questions with regards to that, because I know there's a lot here. I mean, there's a kind of a style, like a way that you put the outline together. And if you need anything with regards to walking you through that, I can do that.
Yeah. What is something I'd love to hear from you guys? Who, oh, did I change? Sorry, I think I just broke something on Zoom. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. What is something that you learned today that you want to go ahead and now implement into your business? Something you picked up. It's an item you want to purchase, a strategy you want to implement. I see lots of pondering faces.
I think mine is that 9-second rule that the hook needs to be immediate and not embedded somewhere later in your video.
Oh, that's great. And then Megan, I saw you put in the chat, I'll be using a new microphone during my live videos. Hope said creating an oh yes, music account literally right now. I love that. So you can get a lot of free or low cost music for backgrounds on your videos, right, depending on the different platforms you use. So those are some great ones. I think that you guys, this was a great intro to a lot of things. Bill, you did a great job of covering the gamut. There, like we said, there's a lot that can go into video. You did a really nice job of kind of giving the highlights to all of it. And we will definitely continue to come back with some more video information for you. We are doing our Techo Tuesday in July all around YouTube specifically. So if that's something you're interested in, keep an eye out for the Techo Tuesday stuff. I think it's July 14th. It's the second Tuesday in July. But I really want to take a moment here to thank Bill for coming on and sharing all of his knowledge with us. I'm going to go ahead and put his link tree in the chat again. So there are several different ways you can get a hold of him. Not only is he great at video, but he's a great lender. I have him personally. So I will vouch for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's on top of it and has a great service to provide. And if you can't tell from his videos, he's a strong family man, puts his family first, which is great. That's his why. So I'd say that's a good reason to keep on keeping on, right, Bill?
That every day I wake up with anxiety. How am I going to feed my family? Especially in this world we live in with real estate and lending right now. So yeah, and I just want to say kudos to all the real estate agents out there that are working so hard. You guys are just, I mean, it's just amazing. I'm inspired every day by watching what you all are doing. And I think that, and when we go back to being authentic, showing that on this social media platform or all the social media platforms is huge. So, because I think a lot of clients, they don't realize how hard you all work. And I think that's one of the things I keep trying to stress that with some of the agents I work with is like, show that you're a mom, like working with your family to try to provide. I mean, that's the American dream right now, is to show that real grit that you all are dealing with.
Right. And it really lets people get to know you a little bit more. I think that's one nice thing about video too, is that by showing not just pictures online, but people like hearing your voice and seeing your story in a little different way and getting insights into your life, it really makes people feel like they know you before they've even met you. So it makes the whole process, whether you're the lender or the attorney or the agent, easier, right? Because you've already got a relationship without even thinking you've had a relationship. Right?
That's a great point. In fact, I met with an agent out here, and I'm in St. Charles, but I met with an agent out here and I never met her. And I walked into the coffee shop. She goes, "I think I already know you." I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, "Because I've been looking at your social media." Mm-hmm. And I just started really hitting home with the branding probably last year around April. So it takes about 6 months. What I've noticed is it takes about 6 months of continually posting. Not all the time. Don't go crazy, because there's some people that just go crazy with it. But there's a certain kind of algorithm that goes along with it. But that's what literally she said. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's actually working. I can't believe it. So just have faith. If you don't see a quick turnover right away, but just keep doing it. I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, remember to do your red light, green light. So don't go buy the super fancy camera. Use what you have, right? As you
Right.
work your way into it, or earn the right to make the next purchase. It doesn't have to be 100% to how you want it every single time right from the get-go. You just need to improve 1% a day, right? Every video you do, what's the next thing I can tweak on this one to make it just a little bit better, right?
Great. I like
And
that. I'm
build
going
up
to use that. I like
Go
that.
for it. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. Bill, of course, for imparting all of your knowledge onto us. And we'll be back next week doing buyer consultations with Margaret Giffen. So we'll be talking about how she is really mastering the market right now. She's done over 14 million in production in the last 12 months. So we'll be talking about how to set up buyer expectations in the current market and how you can incorporate that into your buyer's consultation. And we'll show how you can do that right inside Command as well. So thank you all for being here, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Go master your marketing.
All right. Thank you.